Hello, and welcome to this week's PAC News. I'm Jaime Jimenez.
And I'm Gracie Wise.
Today, we're taking a look at how things may look different this holiday season, how students are overcoming financial hardships, and how Loyola is celebrating their last week of programming. Thanks for tuning in.
Just breaking, the city of New Orleans has officially announced that parades will not happen this year. The city posted on their Twitter page saying that Mardi Gras will look different this year. Parades of any kind will not be permitted this year because large gatherings have proven to be super spreader events of the COVID-19 virus. For more information regarding Mardi Gras 2021, visit NOLA.gov.
With the number of spikes of coronavirus cases increasing due to the change of season, those going home for the holidays are becoming more apprehensive while traveling. Aaron Haynes has more.
The holidays are around the corner, but people are weary to travel during the COVID-19 pandemic. I talked to Rocio Valenzuela, who shares her story of traveling to New York City last month.
So that was my
Valenzuela went to her local airport in Arizona and
expected, everything to be very sanitary, everybody to be required to wear masks.
But when Valenzuela arrived to the Charlotte International Airport in North Carolina, things took a turn.
Well, because there was definitely way more people, so people were trying to social distance. But since there was just so many, it was kind of hard, the max.
Valenzuela sat next to an elderly woman.
Pretty packed, so I think every seat was occupied.
And she felt uncomfortable being packed like a sardine.
Try to social distance us just because how many people on it.
Flights like American Airlines require passengers to wear facial coverings during the entire flight. The planes are equipped with sanitizer and are deep cleaned with Surface Wave 2, a coating that kills 99.9% of the virus. Valenzuela believes cleaning will not be enough to stop the spread of the COVID-19 virus.
The rest of everybody else could be trying to stay safe, social distance, wash their hands and all that, but there's always those few that aren't as careful as everybody else.
I'm Aaron Haynes for the Loyola Maroon.
Thanks, Aaron. People are questioning why NOPD's response times are taking so long after police responded to a 3-car accident near Melba's Po' Boys last week. Peter Buffo has the story.
On Elijah Fields and Claiborne Avenue, NOPD is remaining tight-lipped about a traffic accident involving a state patrol car, an 18-wheeler, and another vehicle. Bystanders are saying,
I heard a crash and I looked over and I saw the cop car skidding around and then I saw a semi-truck. I was like, oh, damn. I said, somebody's in trouble.
Another bystander said,
Ran the red light.
Bystanders agree that the response time for this accident was much faster than the typical response time to other accidents in the area.
Man, it's totally different, if it's just a normal Joe Blow like one of us, it might take the cops half hour, 45 minutes to get down here,
As a result of the cyber attacks in December of last year, the City of New Orleans' public dashboard of response times is out of date. In a phone call, a city spokesperson cannot provide an average response time since the cyber attacks. NOPD also denied our public records request for the traffic report, citing an inability to provide documentation of your employment with the news gathering organization. This is Peter Buffo, PAC News.
Thanks, Peter. As students are getting ready to travel back home for the holidays, let's take a look now at Josh Leaney, a senior basketball player from Australia that could not get back to New Orleans for this semester and decided to put priority on his health and safety.
When it was around time the decision of going back or not, they actually put a ban on travel to the US for the most part, unless you could get appropriate medical coverage and travel insurance, which people weren't selling travel insurance in Australia. So ultimately, the final decision was about my safety and about the fact that I could complete everything online here. It made it a lot easier that I could do that. And I'm doing 6 online courses right now, and it's hard to manage, of course, with the time zone difference, but the ultimate decision was that my own safety was more important than going back to school to play basketball and to be at school.
That definitely is a tough decision a lot of students have to make. This year is a year that everyone has to learn to adapt to, and that is why for the 31st Annual New Orleans Film Festival, things look just a little bit different. Will Ingram has the story.
The New Orleans Film Festival is a festival that normally provides patrons with not only open-air showings but also indoor showings. This year, stress has been added onto the outdoor showings to promote social distancing. The venues set out these flags to separate the chairs placed in groupings reserved by attendees to watch the showings. As those attending enter, they are checked at the gates to ensure safety. They also can grab hand sanitizer and water at the gate.
The 31st Annual New Orleans Film Festival may look a little bit different than it has in years prior, but patrons are saying that they've enjoyed it.
This is the new normal, right? We need to have our space, and it's actually kind of nice because you do have a little more space and you're not on top of each other, and we can spread out like our fort right here. See?
Showings for the New Orleans Film Festival can be streamed virtually on their website through November 22nd. With PAC News, I'm Will Ingram.
Thanks, Will. It's nice to see the tradition continue even during the pandemic.
Stay tuned to find out more about why the beads of Mardi Gras past are still hanging around the city.
And after the break, see how COVID is making changes to a beloved city tradition.
All that and more when we come back.
Back to you, Lester.
Thanks, Taylor. And in our final story of the night, Maroon has been ranked as one of the top student newspapers in the nation by the Princeton Review.
Have you ever wondered why beads from previous Mardi Gras parades are still hanging around? Well, I'll be giving you the latest scoop on Mardi Gras beads that never left. I am standing on the median of St. Charles Avenue right down Superior Grill by the streetcar track. And as you can see, there are a ton of Mardi Gras beads hanging on the telephone wires down the streetcar. And they've been staying there for 9 months. Dozens and dozens of beads loiter along the parade routes in New Orleans. They can be found on tree limbs, telephone poles, drains, tracks, and the street. St. Charles Avenue is a popular parade route for people who want to go celebrate Mardi Gras. So if you're lucky, you can go to Superior Seafood to go watch the parades. And when you're done, you can go down and go collect some beads. The beads stem from parade riders throwing beads at parade goers as they go along the route.
First of all, when the Mardi Gras floats go down St. Charles Avenue or whatever street they're on, they're just throwing like crazy, throwing beads like crazy and other things. And there's a lot of wires around. And so if you are trying to throw to somebody in the back and the beads get near the wires, they tend to wrap around them. And so they're hanging there.
There are mixed feelings when it comes to Mardi Gras beads. Some see them as aesthetically pleasing.
I think it's important to the way that New Orleans is and the style of the city. It's very upbeat and yeah, I think it is important to the culture here.
While the beads are a marvelous sight to see, some worry about the effects they'll have on the environment.
It's kind of like a little disruptive to the environment and the habitats of animals and stuff. I do feel like we should probably make more of a conscious effort to remove them after parades and things like that.
According to the Smithsonian Magazine, nearly 150 tons of trash littered the streets after Mardi Gras.
I would encourage anybody who rides on Mardi Gras floats to take responsibility for their beads and to take responsibility of talking to the leadership of their crew about having a responsible response to beads. If we did that, we'd be in a much better place.
I'm Gracie Wise, Pat News.
Thanks, Gracie. That sure is a lot of beads. I wonder if they'll ever leave. With holidays around the corner, students across campus are facing some financial hardships paying rent or even booking flights home. The University Programming Board has made it a priority to include financial literacy in this semester's programming. Here's UPB's Education Coordinator, Faith Hogg, on how she uses social media to help students.
One of my goals going into the education coordinator role was to spark conversations between students, but also to provide students with tools to live a better life as a college student. But Junior Bucks, the little TikToks that I do, will continue to be something that I'll do. So if students want to ask me questions about money or ask me questions just about financial aid, they can always do that, and I'll be answering those questions through the TikToks on the UPB Instagram.
For more information about upcoming events or resources, follow @AlloyKnow_UPB. The popular and commercial ensemble concert scheduled for Monday was postponed after a student was quarantined with coronavirus. Liam Kidd has the story.
This is PopCom student Sydney Cruz preparing for a voice lesson via Zoom in the comfort of her own home. This is obviously due to coronavirus restrictions. However, she says sometimes it's not like the real thing.
It's just easier to communicate face-to-face when you're doing a voice lesson. It's easier for like all lessons, but I just feel like to communicate and actually work on technique, it's way easier to be in person.
The ensemble class has now had to postpone their yearly concert due to a student under quarantine with COVID.
I was excited for it, but we're down 2 musicians, so it's gonna be kind of scary because we're playing something in a way that we've never played it before, and it's a live recording, but I'm glad we still get to do it at all.
That ensemble was postponed from today, Monday, until Wednesday due to a couple students being sick. A recording will be shown at the same time it was scheduled for on Wednesday.
It does have an element that's missing, which I consider the human synergy of being in the room, looking at a person and giving them that eye, and they know, oh, you're going to this part, or just connecting. And so now we all have to rely strictly on our ear and our cognitive ability to think.
For now, performance students must do what they can with what they are given. For Wolfpack News, I'm Liam Kidd.
Thanks, Liam. That sounds great. Loyola is notorious for their citywide Snow in December event, but with COVID-19 measures in effect on campus, things were celebrated a bit differently this year. Last week, Loyola hosted Christmas in November, which was a week-long celebration dedicated to spreading some holiday cheer. Events started on the 8th and ended on the 13th. One of the events was White Elephant Bingo that took place in the Audubon Room. Screenings were done at the door, and students were required to show their daily assessment test before entering. Students played bingo off their phones for a chance to win all sorts of prizes provided by the University Programming Board. Students could only win once, but were allowed to trade prizes amongst each other.
While snow may not be happening this year, Loyola is still finding ways to keep the holiday spirit. And that is all we have for today. Thanks for watching and have a beautiful day.